And he cut that one too. Just provides that, the bit of release of the pressure. You'd see him tightening up there on the top of the foot, but that's where really that needs to be secure so that the foot's not moving around inside the shoe. And he cut that one too. Just provides that, the bit of release of the pressure. You'd see him tightening up there on the top of the foot, but that's where really that needs to be secure. So
that's generally the line that a lot of bowlers like to work. At to Smith, just around about a fifth or sixth stump line. Here's a look again at that hole in the boot.
You see him tightening up there on the top of the foot. I don't think we'll see any socks coming out of it just yet.
That's generally the line that a lot of bowlers
the laces tight, so the foot's not sliding around inside.
Around about a fifth or
the pressures
sixth
there, the movement,
again at that hole in the boot.
The impact of the foot right the way through the run. Socks coming out.
And he's one of the guys who's a little bit lighter on his feet than most. I mean, Stark seems to be very heavy, and he slams that foot down.
Just the pressures there, the movement, the impact.
The stuff from Afridi first up, 70 for 2. He's one of the guys who's a little bit lighter on his feet than most. I mean, Stark seems to be very heavy, and he slams that foot down. The stuff from Afridi first up, 70 for 2. He's one of the guys who's a little bit lighter on his feet than most. I mean, Stark seems to be very heavy, and he slams that foot down. Stuff from Afridi first up, 70 for 2. There's the chairman, Ramiz Raja. Always at the games. Nice to see him here again today. Nice and busy, no doubt. He would have been delighted first up today with the work that was done by Pakistan. And now this pitch has been baking in this hot sun for a good couple of hours. Grounds would have... That's for both the games, Ramiz and Wasim Raja. Nice and busy, no doubt. He would have been delighted first up today with the work that was done by Pakistan. Groundsman would have taken the covers off at probably 6 o'clock this morning. Bruce, you were down here having a run, weren't you, this morning? Did you see them take it off? That's for both the games, Ramiz and Wasim Raja. Quaja on strike. First up today with the work that was done by Pakistan. Groundsman would have taken the covers off at
you were right there with me, Hazy. Just a few paces behind, as we did a few laps this morning. Yeah, but it's hot conditions out there. It's going to be tiresome for both teams. No ball there from Aleem Dar. With me, Hazy. Confirmation. Few paces behind, as we did a few laps this morning. Yeah, but it's hot conditions out there.
Just waiting for the confirmation from the official scorer as he gets that now.
No ball there from Aleem Dar.
So the baking in the hot sun obviously will have taken a little bit of the life out of the surface. Obviously the ball just keeping a little bit low as we move on throughout this test match. It'll be pretty good to bat on right now. From the official scorer as he gets that now. See that green tinge that we had earlier today, or so the slowly start to turn a little bit on the yellow side. The life out of the surface. Obviously the ball just keeping a little bit low as we move on throughout this test match. It'll be pretty good to bat on right now.
Something important for these two men in the middle, Khawaja and Smith, to consolidate on what was a bit of a shaky start, but they've done really well. Like you mentioned, with the sun, the batting conditions become slightly more better. The ball not doing too much at the moment.
Long off in position, because he likes to get down the track. Does Steve Smith? He's played that beautifully. I think initially he would have been thinking about going downtown again, but no, just waited for it a fraction longer and eased on the onside.
There's a bit of a contrast to the way that both these batsmen, Smith and Khawaja, are playing it. Smith using his feet there. We've seen Khawaja really play spin from the crease, really hang back with this nice straight bat and rely on that. So it's the contrast will be really interesting to watch the way they do this.
That's a half volley. And that's easy put away. That's a lovely drive. Just open the blade a fraction. I think they want a second look. Naseem Shah does nicely. And so it's Khawaja. Come back for 3.
We talked about the feet. Beautiful use again. And just the balance by Steve Smith, but outstanding fielding. Athletic fielding at that too. I think Usman Khawaja had to pull out the turbo to actually get back for the third, but we're just checking this. Looks pretty clear. Well done.
Yeah, it just saves that one run, but that's something that bowling fielders, of course, bowling individual, and the fielders, of course, will be delighted to see a bit of extra effort being put in the field. So really good stuff from Naseem. Brings Khawaja on strike. There's a little bit of rough there already. That ball almost hit a patch. Again, it's an indication, I think, of how much scarring we're going to see on this surface and how much assistance there will be a little bit later.
Yeah, just in and around that rough that's already been created, and there's just contrasting batting styles. You're talking about Casper, Usman Khawaja preferring to play on the back foot. He's done that pretty much throughout this Test series.
It's sort of strange, isn't it? The amount of time he spent in the middle, Usman Khawaja, he hasn't looked to dominate the bowlers, which is a very different way to do it. Certainly for spin bowlers, he's been so patient.
Single off the last to retain the strike, 78 for 2. Oh, looks like it's a no ball. That's not something that spinners should be doing, that's for sure. Got to get that right.
Yeah, Hassan Ali culprit a couple of times before as well, and now Noman Ali second time in this over. I just feel that's just not good enough. I don't think there should be any license given to seam bowlers as well, but for spinners especially, surely he'll have bowled so many overs over the years. I just feel that one of these no balls could be very costly. Looks like he's just remarked his run up there.
I hope so. 2 no balls in this over. $79 for 2. So as far as the batsmen are concerned now, it's a matter of just starting again once there's a break. Obviously, it is so often after the first half hour that something happens after a break. So the batsmen have got to ease into it. Of course, the bowlers have got an opportunity, maybe a little window where they can fire up, and that's why Afridi has got the ball in his hand now. He started so well earlier, picking up the wicket of Warner and then Labuschagne. That's the third duck that Labuschagne has got against Pakistan. Couple of caughts, and of course the run out also in Karachi.
We're talking about the chances or potential chances there. David Warner, short ball, popped it up. It did drop quite short. And there's a bit of a run out chance here. Direct hit. Could have been curtains. There was the one there, just slow down, went quickly. But then in the breadbasket, that one. And it's all so important for that last Test match, of how important it is to take the chances.
Gee, we've got some tough markers around here.
Yeah, a bit harsh, I'd say. I think some of those chances were really sharp, especially the one flying in the slip. Even the cotton ball, yes, of course, you've seen them being taken over the years. I thought that was probably the easiest if I have to mark them out of the 4. Even Imam, the one to Imam, I just thought he got up earlier. Had he stayed lower down, maybe. But again, all very sharp chances.
Had he not moved back, I think that was probably the most important. He was in the right spot a couple of balls before that, then he was moved back. But I'm putting that down to out of that package, one chance. I caught involved. That's my call on that. Opportunities, I suppose, they're there, but those VT boys downstairs are getting excited, as they always do.
It was interesting, guys, that Pat Cummins, I think in some media, he talked about, you know, the last test, and he actually pointed out that it's a matter of taking the chances when they present themselves. We saw there weren't too many, but how crucial it was in the end for the Australians, because there were a couple of those half opportunities that just didn't quite work out. I think there was 3, maybe. I think you know, catches perhaps. But just that reference that those limited opportunities, those half chances, you just need them to go your way. And how crucial that is, obviously, when we're playing on these beautiful batting wickets, is to make a dent in the scoreboard by taking wickets.
And just on the run out as well, we saw a rocket throw from Sajid in the Karachi Test match to dismiss Marnus Labuschagne, the run out as well. But I just thought he was slightly off balance, momentum carrying him backwards, and just didn't get the power behind the throw and missed by a mile.
Oh, that's almost onto the helmet. Again, if it's the helmet, it's going to go for 5. Smith called Khawaja through. Khawaja initially didn't react. It went through the legs, actually, of Rizwan. As he got a second bounce as it went to him, and almost onto that helmet.
Day one after lunch, good pace ball. We just saw that die a little bit, that ball. Keep low. It's going to be a bit of a challenge for the wicket keepers throughout this match. Maybe even for the helmets just behind them.
Partnership worth 72 now. Good work from these two guys. 33 apiece. Pace is down from Afridi. $80 for 2. Third test on the go, 21st of March today. Nil all at this stage, so whoever plays best in this one is going to be pretty pleased. And then we got the 3 one-dayers all in Lahore, and then the only T20 on the 5th of April also in Lahore. Sajid Khan now into the attack. A different sort of off-spinner, has varied pace. Sometimes he bowls the ball quite slowly. His variation tends to be the quicker one, but he's always pretty keen to tempt the batsman. Tends to bowl the speed more of a wrist spinner than a finger spinner. It's a good start.
Straight on the spot. He's well aware of the way that Usman Khawaja looks to play him. Had good practice the last 2 test matches. You just got a sense that not in the direction, but the pace on that ball certainly will be in the back of Khawaja's mind.
That's what he's going to try and do. He's going to try and bring him forward. Now, because Khawaja also always plays off the back foot, or looks to rock on the back foot rather than play off the back foot, there is more space to float the ball up. All batsmen pretty much would come well forward to that. Khawaja's instincts initially are just to rock on that back foot.
But the pace that Sajid Khan has started there. You know, that mid-80s. Even there, 76, the first one. It's a little bit slower, perhaps. Looking for Khawaja, as you point out, so perfect to bring him forward. See if he wants to leave his crease.
Smith took him on. And maybe that's why there was the quicker delivery. There might have been an inside edge on that, actually, as it thudded into the pad.
Yeah, again, the quicker 191 Ks there. Just an inside edge onto the pad.
And again, flatter.
Yeah, the two of them have seen a lot of each other during this test. Sajid v Khawaja. And Khwaja's played him particularly well, hanging back. I think the Ploy seems to be bowling within the line of the stumps and trying to pull him out of the crease. 28 gone, Australia 82 for 2.
There's confirmation of that inside edge. Bounce back towards the pitch, so there was no drama as of it going towards that man at short leg. So this will be just a short spell, I'm sure, from Afridi. 5 overs before the break. They'll just want to swap it around a little bit. They, I think, made a bit of an error this morning. We have talked about it with not opening the bowling with Naseem, particularly the way that he bowled in that first test match in Rawalpindi. They went with Hassan Ali, who's perhaps more of a stock bowler, if you like, someone that can do a bit of the hard yards. Afridi again. Worked that away beautifully off the legs.
Yeah, Smith very comfortable with anything in line with the stumps. Very easily plays the ball off his pads. Easy couple of runs there as well. But yeah, a bit surprising that Naseem wasn't tossed the ball up front. Pakistan making the one change with Fahim Ashraf missing out for Naseem. And with the pace on offer and the ball moving around slightly up front, I just thought that should have been in.
Oh, beautifully bowled. Big shout from Rizwan. Now they think there might have been a bit of boot involved there rather than bat, so that's what they're talking about. Rizwan is up for it. Baba is there as well. The countdown has started. They're unsure at this stage. What's Baba going to do? Sajid Khan also gets involved. He wants to go upstairs, Sajid Khan.
It's not Sajid Khan's decision, though. This was a cracker. Nice and full. And lucky they didn't go upstairs because that looked like it was 100% cricket.
Yeah, flush right in the middle of the willow.
That's generally not out, correct?
I love the graphic of Ultra Edge there. It was like a full white screen.
Gee, he's got so much time. So much time to get behind that. Smith mentioned before that these guys travel to the ground together. They're training. They trained at the same time on separate pitches, of course. So Sajid Khan wanted to go upstairs. There he goes. I said upstairs, he's saying. Let's go upstairs. Trying to have a chat to Smith at the same time. And a bit of a chat afterwards. Terrific camaraderie. That's a lovely shot too. This time it's in front of square. That's going to go very close to that boundary. Slide in from Sajid. got a good arm, as one or two players know.
He does that so well, Steve Smith. As soon as any bowler gets a little bit too straight, just his balance with his head and time, he manages to not miss anything straight. Picks up another 3.
Got that floating slip as well, Pakistan now. Standing at around about 2.5 slips. And a fine gully as well.
I just had a mate of mine from Australia, Laurie Colliver, actually sent me something. It's just a bit of interesting reading. Topical, Usman Khawaja has the best average of any Australian batsman after turning 35 years of age. I know it's a small sample, but shows you what you can do, certainly with experience. And I guess just point that out too, that Usman average is 111 since turning 35. Bradman was 105.
Bit of reverse at the moment. That's what Afridi's trying to work on. Interesting, Casper, end of that over, 87 for 2. Run rate is climbing. It's bang on 3 at the moment. They were around about 2.5 earlier today as they resurrected things. Now these two batsmen for Australia are perfectly in tune with this bowling. Flowing superbly at the moment. That's a direct hit. And they're setting this upstairs. Shahid Khan likes this. He likes it a lot.
Director, we have a review for run out. Show me best angle for this one, please.
Yeah, just saw Hassan Ali there. Rocket in to pick up that ball and rocket it in, and they almost saw there was an opportunity.
Yes, nice and slow. Your bat is grounded. Before the bails are off, I'm ready to make my decision. My decision for the big screen is not off.
Yeah, I'm not sure why Sajid Khan was so excited. Not out.
Yeah, really good energy from Hassan Ali though, rocketing that ball in. There he is again, Hassan Ali, but maybe just Steve Smith putting his bat over the line as opposed to sliding it. And not that Sajid Ali was watching, because he was obviously behind the stumps in trying to take it clean, but good energy in the field trying to create opportunities, Pakistan.
Again bowling flat. He doesn't want to give Smith the opportunity to go over the top. Now, there was a man at a rather deep long off. He's now at a standard long off position.
Yeah.
The variation will be the one that he floats up a little bit. At the moment he's just bowling flat, or just trying to get a little bit of skid out of this and perhaps some purchase. 89 for 2. So probably Afridi's last. This will be the 4th in this spell. 5 before the lunch break, and 2 for 22 is the turn at this stage. So I'll be surprised if we don't see Naseem Shah have a quick little burst as well to get the most out of him when he's fairly fresh. Certainly trying to get a bit of reverse going. Nicely played. That's a really good strong drive from Khawaja. That's gone for 4. That's beautifully played. That's a fine stroke.
That's the first boundary. 41 deliveries. Good ball in the right areas, but just there. You can see Usman Khawaja just open the face a little bit in that drive. Picked up that length really quickly and just didn't give it a chance. Yeah, the look there. It wasn't a bad ball. 4 runs the result.
So 30 overs old, this ball at the moment. There we go. There's just a little bit of reverse that time from Afridi. A Sensodyne free moment, because life's too short for sensitive teeth.
And the PCB and Sensodyne spreading awareness for good oral health and help Pakistan enjoy little moments of life. Take care of your teeth and avoid those trips to the dentist. Just the field positioning here, you see there's a deep, fine leg at the boundary, deep square as well, right at the boundary, and with the cover drive that Usman Khawaja's played, they've pushed point just behind square as well on the fence. Just feel they might be setting him up for the short one, just as a change-up with the 2 men behind on square on the leg side.
Sure what that guy did back a square on the offside is doing. Same time he's trying to get reverse going, so there's a couple of options on the go here. That reversed.
Yeah. As the hands go up to the forward, he'd been saving it. He's been hitting a good length, not wasting it, and just decided to bring it out. Certainly curved in. Khawaja, that straight bat. Certainly helped out there. No, well bowled, Afridi. That's really good bowling. We did see in Karachi at times when it was reversing a little bit, maybe that the Yorker, the full ball, became a little bit of a stock ball, became predictable for the batsman. See it just dipping in late. That's what they need to keep it as a surprise delivery. He's hitting good lengths, bashing that pitch as we talk about, building up the pressure, but keeping up his sleeve and throwing in there. Genuine wicket-taking opportunity.
Well, it's nicely bowled this time from around the wicket. Good work from Afridi. Striving hard. Will it be one more? 31 gone, 94 for 2.
Well, you get a passage of play, whereas a batsman, you just have to start just focusing even more, and the ball is starting to reverse. And they have an excellent bowler coming at them with a reverse swinging ball. Spin, Sajid Khan will just try and hold an end up. But there's a chance to attack at the other end. Two very good batsmen and one outstanding bowler. Pretty decent spinner as well. Beautiful shot, just off the back foot, gave himself a bit of room. Another boundary for Khawaja.
Such a true pitch. In the previous two games, we saw Khawaja going back and sort of defending the deliveries. This time around, he's got no hesitation of putting it away, just making sure that he's finding that gap every time. No real help for the spinners at the moment. Couple of chances when begging in the first session, one through the slip and then one cotton bowled. And when you're playing on this sort of surface, all these chances makes big difference. You got to take them. That's better bowling, nice and full and a little bit outside the off stump.
You probably know this ground better than anyone. Do you think it's going to break up? Is it going to start spinning?
Well, not for the first couple of days, at least for the first 3 days. Yeah. And even when it's going to start spinning, it's going to be really slow. Even against the pacer, we have seen Smith sort of sitting back. He's not really fast on coming onto the front foot. Because off the surface, nothing is really coming that quickly. So you can sit back and punch it through offside, and if it's a little full, you can flick it on the onside, which Smith is showing how to do it. Good job there by Imam ul Haq. Oh! 99 for 2.
Been a while since Steve Smith's got 100. Last 100 was in January 2021 against India in that famous series. So that's what, this is his 14th knock since 100.
'91, the partnership. You talked about the chances that Pakistan missed, and you look at the batting lineup again, you look at who's coming in next. Travis Head, who hasn't had a great tour. Then you're into Green and Carey, so you get 3 wickets in that first session and you're well on top. Head, Green and Carey, next 3 to come, and you think that Pakistan would suspect that if they get Khawaja or Smith, they're in with a chance.
Well, we've got a change of bowling here. Shaheen Afridi had the ball reversing quite a bit. What do you guys think, Waqar? If you get it going, Hassan Ali's into the attack. Well, 100 is up. Would you have kept Shaheen going just for a couple more, bust him out while the ball is going?
Well, when I look outside, it is very steamy, it's very hot, and they only lost 2 wickets. So you want to keep some sort of energy going for the entire day, because taking wickets on this pitch is not going to be easy. The planning's got to be really right, and now these 2 batsmen, they're much more comfortable now. They started scoring a little quicker than what we've seen in the first session.
But the other question now is, nowadays there's a lot of science behind how many overs a bowler should bowl, the workloads and all that. And in your day, it wasn't so. But when, as a captain, really do you start thinking ahead? Do you start thinking at the bigger picture? Do you think you want a wicket right now, you want Shaheen Shah Afridi bowling, or do you think, well, he's bowled 9 overs now, I want him to bowl 15 in the day or 16 in the day, so I don't want to over bowl him? When is that sort of thought process in your mind, whereas you don't take a backward step, but you think that I've got to look or preserve him for the day?
You got to be very smart as a captain. You know, or you get the sense that when your bowler had enough, and how long I want him to carry on. Most of the bowlers, when they're bowling well or when they're in good rhythm, you just want to carry on. But that's the captain's job when he feels, okay, that's enough for now. That's why I think Pakistan made a change of bringing Naseem in place of Fahim Ashraf, because they're 3 genuine fast bowlers, so they can just keep rotating from one end and keep the spinner from the other end, who will do the holding job. But in Naseem Shah's case, I always feel that he should be the one who will be your main weapon. He got pace and he gets that extra bounce. He can come in and bowl short spells, but try different things. Others got to stay disciplined. I think especially Hassan Ali, he's got to really hit those areas just outside the off stump and bowl those maidens, just keep coming at them, build that pressure. Yeah, that's not bad bowling, although it just died. It didn't really go up. 100 for 2.
I tell you what as well, there's a marked difference in speed. Shaheen Afridi, what's he? He's like 142, 145, stuff like that. Hassan Ali's down at what, 130? And that ball is hardly carrying. Speed of Hassan Ali, 130 odd, around there, barely getting into the 130s. Shaheen Shah Afridi and Naseem Shah are on a different level. They're up to 140, and you can just tell the way it's going through to the keeper.
And in that previous game, Pakistan talked about speed through the air. There was questions asked about why Pakistan weren't as effective with reverse swing. And the answer you were getting was that Australia, on average, were about 5 to 10 kilometers quicker than the Pakistani bowling attack. So they've gone for pace. They've gone for Naseem. Naseem and Shaheen with the pace, and that probably because of the fact that reverse swing will come into play.
Well, if you compare the two bowling lineups, Stark does the job which what Shaheen does, very similar, looking to attack early on with the new ball and then reverse. And then when you look at Cummins, who hits the deck hard and he bowls short of a length and he gets something out of the surface, and I think Naseem and Hassan maybe need to do that. And what I have not seen since morning is the short delivery, the bounces. It's very comfortable for the batsman out there at the moment, but if you just bowl few bounces and then this reverse swing from the length, not fuller length but from the length, can be effective.
102 for 2.
The older this ball gets, the less it's going to bounce as well by the look of it. That's dying in the surface.
This is a very dry surface, and there's a little bit of grass maybe in the middle of the pitch, but when you look at the both hands closer to the batsman, there is no grass at all, and we're already seeing a lot of roughs around it. Oh, that's no good. Maybe once we get into the third or the fourth day, these deliveries needs to be nice and straight at the stumps. Maybe bring the LBWs into play. But at the moment, no bounce, nothing in it for the Pacers.
Yeah, and look at those average speeds. Now that's brought down by slower balls, but generally there, look at that, the top speed, 144 Shaheen, 143, 139 for Hassan Ali. And at the moment, this is real gentle pace. On a slow pitch, Steve Smith has a lot of time, barely carrying through to Rizwan. First visit for me to the Tapple Tea Lounge today. Shaheen Afridi, more wickets required. What do the fans feel about the game? Welcome to Lahore, Team Australia. We had a good trip so far in Lahore. Bit of golf, one of the better golf courses around. There we go. Bit of reverse swing when it goes in on that occasion.
I think what I really liked about that last delivery was the length. This ball is definitely reversing. You can see the shiny side on the right, and the ball came in. The length is very, very crucial. Pitch it up a little bit. It'll be easy to just nudge it away or play that booming drive which is outside the off stump. So the length is very, very important, especially when you're bowling at these sort of paces, 135, 134.4, 132. So the length becomes very important. He's looking to hide the ball and doesn't want to show the shiny side. Yeah, much better. Much better.
Right, I want to play a game now. Let's see if we can just focus. If we can just focus on the bowler as he's running in, Hassan Ali. Now, Waqar, a great reverse swing bowler. I want you to tell us which way it's going to swing. See if you can spot it.
Well, I can tell you from here, that's definitely coming in. But I guess...
I don't know now when he's running in.
I can't tell how the batsman can. Yeah, because the batsman is a lot closer. End of the over, 102 for 2. Yeah, you can't focus as a batsman. Rob, you've been an opener, and if someone running like this, you probably tell me better that if you can see it. Are you used to look at this, the shiny side if it's reversing?
See, I used to, I mean, in England, people didn't really reverse it much, but on the odd occasion they did. I used to get confused. You know, you start thinking, hang up, conventionals on that side, then what about reverse? So then I would just play for the one type of delivery coming back in, and then you hope, if you're playing straight enough and it goes the other way, then you hope you miss it.
So that means you basically become a defensive player. Then you struggle to sort of get runs off those deliveries if someone's bowling really well from that good length.
Yeah, I think it means if the ball's reversing and you're just playing for the one coming in because of LBW, bowled, all of that type of stuff, You're then making sure you keep your balance and you're just looking to clip and stuff like that. And if it does go the other way, and you're just looking to play as straight as you can and hold your balance is the absolute key. And at times, as you know, there's not many, there's a big difference as we see him coming. Good hands, that is. Good fielding in the end. You always know, so I mean with Shaheen Afridi, and I'd imagine it was the same when you were playing, you know, Wasim and Waqar. There's a drop-off when the other bowlers get the ball, so you feel like for 4 or 5 overs, if I can get through the main bowler, then life gets a bit easier.
Oh, yeah.
I love the use of the word confused while batting. I think it was a constant state when I was batting, confused all the time. But sometimes if you really trusted your partner, you'd almost ask your partner to hold the bat in which direction the ball is going to swing. But sometimes if you didn't trust your partner, you were in trouble. But most of the times he could spot it much easier. The non-striker could spot the shiny part of the ball much easier than yourself. So it was a good option.
But what about if your partner on the other side don't like you?
Yeah, exactly the case. So you've got to spot that before you could weigh all those options before.
Then you're done. $105 for 2.
Hassan Ali round the wicket to Khawaja. So a bit of reverse back into Steven Smith now. How he goes to Khawaja from round the wicket. Khawaja has done this pretty often, just come at Hassan Ali. He talked about lesser pace, but he's been able to come at him. I'm smiling today, Manas. He was distraught the other day when he got out quickly. He just had his little think over his shot. He's looking pretty relaxed.
This was previous test match. He was not very happy. Hassan Ali is bowling well. Is just found the right length for a reverse swing. Earlier with Shaheen, I thought he was over trying it. He was trying to bowl those Yorkers. But the right length for this pitch at the moment is just that length which we saw the previous delivery. That's where the batsman doesn't know which way to go. Should I go forward or should I sit back and hope that something will happen off the seam? A little pacey on that occasion, that last delivery, 136.6.